Hey everybody, what's going on? Hexlex here with another Master Duel video for you guys today. In this one, we're going to be taking a look at, finally, Tri-Brigade Zoodiac. I know this has been a highly requested deck, just from, even at the time of recording this, just all the comments that I've seen in my videos so far. I want to make sure you guys know, don't worry, I am not ignoring Tri-Zoo in order to only play Sword Souls now. No, of course we're still going to be playing other decks here too. I just wanted to go into Sword Souls first because they were the newer deck. I want to make sure that, we're going to be seeing it a lot on ladders so that everybody knows what they do. And also, I can't lie, I was just really excited to play the deck as it was the new deck on the block there. But we are back to good old faithful here, Tri-Brigade Zoodiac, which I do still think is actually a very powerful deck. It's funny, I've also seen a lot of comments asking where exactly Tri-Zoo and Sword Soul and all these decks are on the tier list, and it's honestly just too early to say right now, especially at the time I'm recording this, which is actually just a little over 2 days into the new stuff being released. So I suspect that Tri-Zoo is still a tier 1 deck, and I actually suspect it's at a similar power level to Sword Soul. It might be slightly above, might be slightly lower. We'll just have to see where the deck's power levels pan out as the meta plays out. I will say that I expect Sword Soul to appear higher on the initial tier list than Tri-Zoo, but I think that will be more of due to representation on the ladder as opposed to the deck's actual power level. Because, there's always the question of like, what's the best deck, and people are kind of asking like, what's the most popular deck or what's the strongest deck, because those are two very different things. And the things that end up being meta, it's just kind of somewhere in the middle, right? Like obviously a deck's power level is going to influence how much play it sees, but to an extent there is the possibility of like sort of not artificially inflating that number, but because so many people are playing the new deck, it might represent it maybe higher than it might normally be on the tier list. But we're not here to talk about tier list or Sword Soul. We are here to talk about Tri-Brigade Zoodiac. So this is my list here, post Refined Blade, post of the new pack. As you can see, we are including the new Destiny Hero Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer. So yeah, a DPE has kind of wormed its way into every single deck. I personally don't mind too much at the time of recording this. I can totally see a world where in a month from now I'm like just so sick of this card, but I really like Destiny Heroes, so it's kind of neat to be able to play one in pretty much every deck. Alright, as always, we're going to go through the list card by card here, and then after that we're going to go ahead and talk about what the different cards in the deck do. We'll talk about the differences from this list as opposed to the past season, changes made not only by the new pack but also the ban list as well, and then we're going to go ahead and see some live gameplay because, between the climbing up to Diamond 1 and then doing all these deck profiles, I've been doing a lot of replays lately, and I didn't want like half of this month's videos to just be replays, so I'm going to try to include some live gameplay here with this deck profile, and with ideally a couple of other deck profiles that are going to be coming up as well. So let's go ahead and take a look at the list here. We've got 3 Tri-Brigade Nervall, 3 Maxx, 2 Tri-Brigade Kerass, 3 Tri-Brigade Kitt, 3 Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, 2 Ghost Belle and Haunted Mansion, 1 Destiny Hero Celestial, 1 Zoodiac Thoroughblade, 1 Zoodiac Ramram, 1 Zoodiac Kataroost, 2 Tri-Brigade Fraktall, 1 Destiny Hero Dasher, 1 Nibiru the Primal Being, 1 Harpie's Feather Duster, 2 Fusion Destiny, 1 Lightning Storm, 3 Fire Formation Tenki, 2 Called by the Grave, 2 Forbidden Droplet, 2 Infinite Impermanence, and 3 Tri-Brigade Revolt for the main deck. Now down here in the extra deck, we've got 1 Destiny Hero Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer, 1 Zoodiac Drident, 1 Zoodiac Boarbow, 1 Zoodiac Chakanine, 1 Divine Arsenal Oz Zeus Sky Thunder, 1 Salaman Great Almirage, 1 Predaplant Vert Anaconda, 1 Ancient Warrior's Oath Double Dragon Lord, 1 Farajit the Baron Blossom, 1 Bearbrum the Rampant Rampager, 1 Racefolger the Desperate Doom Eagle, 1 Rugal the Silver Sheller, 1 Access Code Talker, and then 2 Shurag the Ominous Omen. So I'm actually first going to talk about the extra deck, which I usually talk about the differences in the main deck, or like the main deck in general first, but I want to go over the extra deck first because, I've stated in a lot of my other Tri-Brigade videos that, the extra deck was kind of like locked down tight. Like I considered all 15 cards kind of to be essential to the extra deck, but we did have to take 2 cards out for, the DPE and the Anaconda. One of these cards that we took out is the Tiger Mortar here. Tiger Mortar being the easiest cut in my opinion from the extra deck because You know, we don't need all 4 Zoodiac monsters that we were playing. You really only need 3 to go into a 4 material Zeus. The 4th was nice in case you wanted to go into like a Drident and then maybe a 4 material Zeus later, or when we were playing Whiptail, which we're not anymore, we'll talk about that in a moment, it was possible to go into a 6 material Zeus. But you know, those were definitely very niche scenarios. And then of the Zoodiac monsters themselves, you know, Tiger Mortar is definitely the one that you use the least. I think in all the times I played Tri-Zoo for like all those months from season 1 through, you know, and now up to 5, I've only used this card like maybe 3 times at the most. I don't think it's been that many though, in this deck anyway. So the other card we cut from the extra deck is actually Appaloosa. And the reason we cut Appaloosa is because we're actually kind of altering our turn 1 combos here. And I'll give you guys a little full disclosure. This is actually my second take of this video. I actually spent over an hour recording this with chat, which actually, by the way, I failed to mention that so far. We are actually live streaming on Twitch these games and this profile that I'm recording right now. When I do live games, I like to stream them on Twitch because it's like, you know, 2 birds, 1 stone. Right now, why not, right? We get to entertain people live and then entertain people later as well. So, and I do live games anyway, so it's like, why not? But it's funny, I went into this profile initially being like all confident, like, oh, I know Tri-Zoo, of course I do. I'll just go ahead and throw in the DPE engine, it'll be fine. I can just do the same combo lines, right? Wrong. We're actually not playing Appaloosa anymore because that's not really what we're going into turn 1 anymore. With DPE just being the stronger card to go into, now instead we can use some of those materials that we were using to go into Appaloosa to go into Vert Anaconda. You just want to be mindful, like I wasn't in my last take, you just want to be mindful that you're not locking yourself out of being able to Vert Anaconda with the Bear Rum here. So yeah, we definitely got to make that first, and then you pop the Bear Rum and search Revolt. Again, I'm telling you this because I've already learned this lesson the hard way in front of a live audience, no less. So it is what it is, that happens. So all right, let's go ahead and talk about differences in the main deck a little bit. Obviously, we're playing the engine to support Destiny Hero, Destroyer, Phoenix, Enforcer now. I've actually taken the Pot of Desires out of the main deck here, which is something I've seen suggested quite a bit. Now, I actually liked Desires quite a bit in our previous iteration of Tri-Zoo. Because we were playing so many 3-ofs, it's actually not very often at all that Desires ends up screwing us with what we banish. However, now that we're playing this Destiny Hero engine, that's not necessarily the case anymore, right? Among those 10 cards, it's very easy for either Celestial or Dasher to get banished, and if even one of those gets banished, well, not only are 2 of your extra deck cards now dead, but also 2 of your main deck cards are now dead. So it's really, in my opinion, just not worth the risk. Plus, also, we just didn't have the room. And obviously, if we're playing Desires, you want to be at 40. There's really no reason to play Desires and be over 40 cards, in my opinion. That's just kind of, I don't know, this kind of doesn't make sense to me, but yeah, another change that we made here, I was trying to think of the other changes we made to the main deck. We've added Ghost Spell and Haunted Mansion. I've gone over this in my Sword Soul deck profiles as well. But Ghost Spell and Haunted Mansion is going to be a powerful tech option. Not even necessarily a tech option, just a very powerful hand trap now in the new meta. Because not only does it stop some Sword Soul effects, mainly stops Destroyer, Phoenix, Enforcer from reviving itself. And honestly, it's not like Ghost Spell was a very bad card or even a very niche card before. I think I definitely underestimated Ghost Spell. You know, before I crafted them for this format specifically, because I'm finding there are actually, against a wide variety of decks, a lot of different effects you can Ghost Spell. So this card is just good in general, not even just specifically against DPE, but I think Ghost Spell in general is just a fine card. Hey, there's a follow. If you're hearing that sound there, that is a new follow from Skies there. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Another change that we have made to the list here is that we're now playing Zoodiac Kataroost instead of Whiptail. So this is a list I've seen some of the people playing. Hey, there's another follow from Absurd Falcon. Yeah, guys, if you want to get shouted out on YouTube, this is the time to follow and sub. Wink, wink, not judge. But in any case, yeah. So we're trying out Kataroost over Whiptail here. I've seen other people make this change, and I think it makes sense to me. This is another mistake I made in the last take that I did. I mistakenly said this protects against DPE. It does not. DPE does not target. Hey, V the Dragon, thanks for following. Yeah, Kataroost does not protect against DPE, and thanks to Molo to Molo, I'll just say Molo. I'm not gonna butcher your name because I will. I'll find a way to do it. I'll find a way to butcher any name. Kataroost is, however, going to be able to protect from a decent amount of the Sword Soul stuff, like Cheeseow, you know? And it's not even just Cheeseow, but like there's a couple other monster effects to target as well. Thanks, Cross001, I appreciate you following there. So yeah, I'm trying this out over Whiptail. I could see a world where Whiptail still ends up being right, but Kataroost doesn't seem like a bad tech option right now. Yeah, this whole list is still, like, I mean, pretty much like all my lists, right? Like, as I play test it and play more, it is still subject to change. And even between takes of this, you know, profile, it's changed. So, yeah, you know, it's always nice to be, it's always good, rather, to be flexible with your deck list. We don't want to remain, you know, rigid in just one playstyle. I'm only going to use this list, you know, for X amount of games. It's like, yeah, be flexible. By the same token, we don't want to change our deck too often, but it's just, like anything in life, you have to find the appropriate balance. Okay, I think that's about all I wanted to say about the deck here. Oh yeah, actually, chat is pointing out some other good points to make as well. Ghostwheel and Haunted Mansion, good tech choice, but it is an ultra rare. If you wanted a more, like, kind of budget option, which actually isn't even necessarily budget, could just be a good alternate option in this particular deck, is DD Crow. DD Crow will also accomplish the same means of countering DPEs. Graveyard effects, well, doesn't really counter the effect, so they'll still get to bring back one of their other Destiny heroes, but you can banish the DPE and it will be able to bring itself back. And again, here in Tri-Zoo, where you can actually make use of the Tri-type here, it's very possible that DD Crow is actually just, you know, a good alternate choice, not even just a budget option here. Another thing I've seen people in chat ask about here is Rescue Cat. I'm not playing Rescue Cat here because I did think about it. I did consider it, but I couldn't really find room for Rescue Cat. And additionally, not only that, but also I still hold the same opinion about Rescue Cat that I did before, where it's like, it's just, it takes up your normal summon and it's susceptible to like so much disruption. Like almost every single hand trap under the sun can stop Rescue Cat. Plus the fact that it's an ultra rare doesn't help. It's like a very, if I was going to try it, like it'd be a very experimental card, might not make the cut anyway, and then there'd just kind of be a waste of craft points. So those are the main reasons we're not seeing Rescue Cat here. Okay, I'm just looking over the main deck here, making sure there's nothing else I wanted to cover. Oh yeah, so we're playing Droplet still in this deck, even though we're not playing Droplet in like Sword Souls. Now, even though Drytron is seeing less play, one, I do still think it's actually a solid tier 2, if not even potentially a lower tier 1 deck. It's just not seeing play because, you know, everyone's sick of Drytron right now. Even the people who were playing Drytron are sick of it right now because they played it so much getting up to Diamond and Diamond 1 the first week of the season. That said, Droplet is still good against a variety of other decks, including Sword Souls. Droplet's actually fairly good against Sword Souls. And not only that, but also we still, as Tri-Zoo, have the spare resources in order to use the Droplet here. So, yeah, that's why we're still including Droplet in this deck, but not in our other decks, like some of our other decks like Sword Soul. And again, Sword Soul, like I mentioned in that profile, just doesn't usually have the spare resources in order to Droplet as well. So, okay, I think that is just about everything. Oh, let's address the meteor in the room, is what Full Fire in chat says. Where's the other Nibiru? So, yeah, I do normally love 2 Nibiru in this deck, and I really wanted to play 2. I just couldn't find the room. I did actually really consider cutting this Lightning Storm for a second Nibiru, and that might actually still happen, but I just like Lightning Storm's flexibility a lot, so for now, this is what we're testing, but I do still think a second Nibiru is good this format. Like Sword Soul, of course, does its own fair amount of summoning, but yeah, it was just a matter of space right now. But again, that could change in future builds, depending on what gets added, what gets cut, all that fun stuff. So, all right, let's go ahead and look at some live gameplay. Alrighty, let's see. We got Pucksin here. We win the coin flip. Always love to see that. Let's go ahead and go into this game here. Okay, we have Kerass and Nervall. Also always nice to see Fusion Destiny, so let's see. Yeah, we have some amount of lines here. Let's go ahead and activate Kerass effect, pitching the Nervall. See if our opponent's got a response. See if they ash the Nervall effect. Actually, wouldn't be awful if they did, because then that, yeah, that means that Fusion Destiny is likely going to go through. So this is one of the things that makes DPE just so powerful, is like normally, you know, this would be like a huge just turn ender, but we just have like an alternative 1-card combo line, you know, casually. It is what it is. Alright, you have to select them one at a time. And let's see, I actually don't know if it's better to summon it in attack or defense mode, to be totally honest with you guys. I'll just, given the attack reduction effect, I'll just get an attack mode. I don't think it really matters too much, but it could in ways I'm just not thinking of. I'll go ahead and throw down Imperm as well before passing it over to the opponent here. Of course, Lightning Storm, yeah. That is a reason to play it in defense mode. Okay, opponent's going to Long Yawn here. I'm going to flip this to on real quick. And then I won't chain this yet, but I will chain, and I think, I'm trying to figure out if I want to pop the Long Yawn or the token. We just pop the token, right? Because the level 6 by itself doesn't really do a whole lot. Yeah, I think I'm just going to go ahead and pop the token here. Pop itself, token, because this can't run over to Kerass. And then, of course, we'll activate this effect. Popping the token also prevents them from doing stuff with, like, Tenki effects, too, so that's nice. Alright, they normal the Moye, but we fortunately have our Imperm down as well. And then they reveal, yeah, Taye, so that's another dead card in their hand. So they only have one other card that we don't know about. Okay, cool, our opponent just got the concede there. So, dang, I would have liked to show that game actually played out, but that's kind of the problem with Diamond 1 is like, you know, when you when you do have the ups there, it can be kind of hard in order to actually get a full game, which you know, it doesn't really matter when you're not recording, but when you're recording, it's like, I want to show a full game, but we can still show this one anyway, because it's a great example of just what DPE adds to a Tri-Zoo deck, right? You might think like, oh, this deck can be fine without Destroyer, Phoenix, Enforcer, but like, it's such a minimal investment for such a maximum output. Like we saw just there, our combo got disrupted. In any other scenario, that would have just been the end of our turn, and probably the end of the game, to be honest. But with just one card, with just that one Fusion Destiny, we're able to turn it around and then turn it into a win. All right, let's go and take a look at another game here. Alrighty, next game here against a soccer ball. I don't know. Alright, cool. We get to go first again. We always like to see that. And listen, after the string of luck I've had trying to get this video recorded, I will take all the coin flip wins I can get. Alrighty, let's see what we've got here. A couple of Tenkis, Nervall and a Kitt. That's not too shabby. Obviously, you know, we could always do better, but it could be worse as well, so. We're definitely going to lead with the Tenki here, naturally. Try to get a Fraktall to enable some more plays. Yep, just go ahead and add that. Ooh, Joel and Lockbird. That's not very good for us. Let me think here. Alright, so if we... Oh shoot, but then I can't special summon it all, because I can't add a Kerass now. Wow, it's not often you run into Joel and Lockbird. Actually, how good is Joel and Lockbird now? Is Joel and Lockbird good against Sword Soul? Well, that's later. We'll speculate on that later. Let's see here. So, I'm just trying to figure out if I can... Because I can't do any more searches. I can do sends. So I can still send stuff. So I still have lines. Like I could still go into. Oh, I could go into Vert. That's right. Duh. Yeah, it's really easy to go into Vert here. Okay, yeah, let's go and activate Fraktall's effect. And we can still use Kitt's effect. We can still set up 3 tri-types in Grave. So I'll, activate Kitt, and then now let me figure out what Tri-Brigade monster I want to send here. I think I might actually send a Nervall anyway, even though I'm not going to get a search off of it. Because I definitely want to keep my last Fraktall around. I'd like to keep these Kerasses to potentially make plays later. And I think Nervall is just the one to send, again, even though I'm not going to search off of it. Alright, let's go ahead and normal summon the Kitt. And activate. For 2 cards. It doesn't really matter. I guess we'll just banish those 2. Alright, cool. Now we can summon Farigite. And Farigite F. In order to summon the Nervall. Okay, cool. So, now we need to send Kitt and Farigite in order to make the Anaconda, because we're going to use Nervall to then banish those. Let me just talk myself through this line real quick, because I have messed this up before. Okay, so we're going to send Kitt and Farigite, summon the Vert Anaconda, use Nervall effect, banish 2, and summon Boarbow. Then we're going to use Anaconda to make DPE, and DPE to pop itself and the Boarbow. That'll let us search Revolt and set it up. That way we set up our DPE and the Revolt, and we don't lock ourselves out of anything. I'm pretty sure that I'm doing that right, so let's go ahead and go for it. Alright, and then, yeah, we go ahead and activate Nervall now, because remember, we can't do any more special summoning if we use Vert, and then when we use Boarbow's effect, we are locked into Tri-Brigade monsters, so you have to do it in this order that I mentioned specifically. Oh, but Droll. Thanks, chat. Everyone's telling me, emergency, do not pop, do not pop. Yeah, so normally that would be the line. Let me correct myself now. Normally that would be the line, but since we are under the actually, we could just set up double Dragon Lords here then, if that's the case, right? So let me actually think for a second if that's better. Or if it's better to Boarbow and potentially search for Revolt later, obviously not now. But if we set up DDL, we have like multiple forms of disruption. Like we can bounce and pop. That actually sounds way better to me. Cool, let's just go ahead and do that. So this is cool. You know what? Initially, when we saw that Joel, I mean, you heard it in my voice. I was like, "Oh no, God, what are we gonna do now?" But like, and thanks to DPE, a good portion of that, like, we're still able to just play around it. Yeah, as I mentioned last time, we do want to, or as chat mentioned and reminded me last time, we'll just get DPE in defense mode to play around Lightning Storm. And this setup looks pretty good to me. Yeah, let's go ahead and just pass it back to our opponent. Oh, we can even use DPE to pop our own Nervall for a search too. That's or the double Dragon Lord. That's pretty nutty. Thanks for being my backseat, chat. I gotta. Oh no, a kaiju! No. But no, thanks, chat, for being my backseat there. I appreciate you helping me out when I need it here in this new format. So, given my opponent summoned a kaiju, I'm actually just gonna go ahead and pop off Maxx here, because if your opponent gives you a kaiju, like, they're gonna be special summoning that turn. So let's just go ahead and do it now. Alright, and sure enough, they're just gonna set a card and pass, so that's actually pretty good for us. And we're loaded up on tri-types, right? We're actually not. We only have one engrave. But that shouldn't be too much of an issue here. Yeah, we still have plays we can go into. We can access code, we can even go for like a race. Does our opponent have just the Joel unlock? Is this only wins? Okay, yeah, it's only wins. Let me think for a second. I have Tenki too. Like, I mean, I have plays for days. So yeah, we link these two. We'll just start with that. We'll just go into Racefulger. This is weird. This is like, I think this is maybe the first time. No, there was I think at least one other time, but I don't often like hard go into Racefulger, but it is possible to do it in this deck, and specifically that scenario. You have to use exactly DDL plus Nervall. Alright, opponent's gonna Skullmeister. I don't care about that. Actually, no, if I shuffle it back, it doesn't, yeah. No, it's whatever. Right, if I shuffle this back, I don't think that negates, that stops that from working, so whatever. Alright, and then, yeah, let's just immediately go into access code. There's no reason to... no, don't use those two materials. There's no reason to wait around anymore. Let's go ahead and get rid of this back row and just go for game. I know it's not game on board just yet, but we have the Tenki and we haven't normal summoned yet, so... Alright, cool. No response to the resolution of the summon there. Let's pop... let's start with Earth. It doesn't really matter, but I'm sure we'll just do Earth. Okay, cool. It's just a Twin Twister. Yep, we activate Tenki here. Ooh, our opponent could have Ash. Or C. That's, yeah, whatever. Doesn't matter. We're just going to get lethal anyway. Let's see. I'm just trying to think if there's a world where it ever matters here, because their last card could still be something. I mean, we definitely should just get a Zoodiac here. Let's just get Thoroughblade. Okay, how many summons have I done? Actually, I should count that real quick. Okay, one. Okay, 1, 2. It's just been 2, right? Oh yeah, we're good. That's 3. And then just for insurance, we'll do 4. Yeah, I didn't suspect it actually mattered here, but I like to do the Boarbow just for insurance, even if my opponent's got an open board, just in case they summon something during the battle phase. I don't know. I'm an old school player. I'm always thinking about Gores and Tragodia and all that kind of stuff, even though it's not been relevant for years, so, yeah. Alright, our opponent is no fun. That's not me insulting them, that's literally their name, no fun. Okay, we lose the coin flip, which might actually be fun depending on our hand. Let's see, we're definitely looking for going second at least one hand trap or at least one form of disruption. Well, at least we have the hand trap, I guess. The ghost spell being the one you want to open least by itself, but it is something at the very least. Opponent's going to lead with a Terraforming. Let's see what they've got. Our hand's looking kind of solid here. Kind of solid. I know it's kind of like, you know, oxymoronic, but we've got Kerass, Pitch, Nervall, and then a Zoodiac as well, so we can, you know, try to bait with the Kerass play, although if our opponent's going to end up going for a window, that's not going to work for us here. Okay, adding the Invocation. Oh, can I Ghost Spell the Invocation? That would be cool if I could. I think I might be able to. I should be able to, right? Going for Almirage, not for the Moon Maiden, huh? That's interesting. Although if they... Okay, now they're going for the... Wait, no, they can't go for Moon Maiden. Don't you have to use a Spellcaster? Oh, the Secure Garden. I got it. Okay. I was going to say, they're going to get a light somehow. Now, let's see here. Yeah, we're definitely just going to go... We're definitely just going to go ahead and go spell here. Oh, but the field spell. I'm glad I looked over at chat and saw somebody say that right after I did the ghost spell. Alright, let's see. They got the Macabre here. Fortunately, Macabre is only once per turn, so we can just go ahead and bait it with the Kerass and then just Kataroost them. Wheeling back the Alistair, that's fine. Oh, and they're throwing on a DPE as well. That's a little less fine. Wow, they sent a Plasma instead of a Dasher. I actually kind of thought about that after I pulled Plasmas. I was wondering if there might be decks where that might be like a different, more viable option. I also kind of thought about Malicious as well. Like potentially using Malicious as a material and then setting it up as a... Well, using it as a material for Fusion Destiny and then using it as a material for later as well. Yeah, also right on time next, so you gotta love it. Alright, let's see here. Yeah, we still just lead with the Kerass effect here for sure. Pitching the Nervall. Because then we get the Nervall Search as well as the still potential to Kataroost. Although that Maxx response, bleh, not good for us. Let me think. They're gonna pop. I mean, they might not have just game just yet. I'm just thinking about, like, if I want to continue. Well, okay, so the reason I say that is I'm thinking about just, like, ending my turn after this. Although, they get... Oh, they get to Ash, too. I mean, now I think we just have to end. I mean, we could normal summon Kataroost, but it doesn't... They just get draws if I try to do Zoodiac plays. Obviously, they have multiple disruption, too. What would it take for me to win? I'd have to top deck, like, Lightning Storm. Pretty much just Lightning Storm, right? If I top deck Lightning Storm, I could, like, wipe DPE and the Macabre during my next turn and summon the Kataroost and go for a Zeus line. Assuming I don't... I mean, this is all assuming I don't die during my opponent's next turn, of course. They have it all. Yeah, they kind of have it all here, but yeah, it happens. Let's see. I could just set. Although, yeah, blah, 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 blah. Okay, actually, what if I normal summon? Okay. What if I normal summon Kerass and activate? I know they'll get negated, but it'll at least force them to send a monster, and then maybe they won't be able to lethal me next turn. I mean, at this point, it's that or concede, so whatever. Let's just try it. And then, yep, effect. I figured that was coming. Plus, I mean, there is also the world where our opponent somehow doesn't have a monster in their hand. I can't imagine that would ever really happen, but, you know, whatever. Never know if you don't check, I suppose. Plus, like I said, this potentially... This at least forces, rather, a negation here. And potentially saves us. Yeah, we'll just pass to our opponent now. Okay, I gotta flip this to on. Because DPE actually doesn't have an activated effect, so if you want to get a Maxx off the draw here, I think you have to do it now. Because the activated effect already happened when it got destroyed. I'm pretty sure that happened to me once before when I was playing Sword Souls, where I left it on auto and it didn't give me a prompt to respond to Maxx before my opponent brought the DPE back. Oh no, they're gonna just Macabre it. Hey, thanks for the follow. I am thyself. I appreciate you there. So yeah, I mean, you know, this just happens sometimes where you end up with these games where your opponent just has everything. Trickstar, Light Stage. Adding a Trickstar mod. Wait. Did they not get the DPE back? Did they just elect not to activate the effect or something? What's going on here? During the standby phase of the next turn. But they moved to main phase without summoning something. Oh no, they're still in they're still in standby phase. Oh, they didn't activate this. They got it. This is like a quick effect. Oh, wait, is it a quick effect? Once returned from target. I'm confused here. Okay, they didn't activate it. Yeah, okay. I assumed there had to be a quick effect that this was still the standby phase or something, because I was just like, there's no way they just wouldn't bring DPE back, right? This is an interesting game. Oh my god, we kind of have a shot now. I'm gonna have to play assuming my opponent's last card is a monster, though. But we, like, actually have a shot here. Does this negate and destroy, or is this just a negate? Okay, negates and banishes. Either way. Okay, so we Kataroost. We're just gonna go for a Zeus line here. And actually, wait a second. Is this target? No. Okay, it doesn't target. All right, that would have been, yeah. Okay. There's no need. Okay, so this actually doesn't target, so there's no need to go into Drident first or anything. We'll just go straight into Boarbow. Okay, nothing to the summon. Let's go battle. Attack directly? Does this go through? One of these? Oh, it goes through. Okay, cool, dope. All right, main phase 2. I'm just like waiting with bated breath for my opponent to flip up one of these back rows here. This is always the most nerve-wracking part for me, when you're lining the Zoodiacs up into the Zeus. Alright. Now we go into Zeus. And I actually don't even have to activate Zeus right now, because this is only once per turn, right? Yeah, that's just once per turn. So it doesn't matter if they have multiple monsters, they can't negate me multiple times. So I should wait here, for sure. I'm going to flip this to on for sure as well. Well, not right now. I'll wait till my opponent's turn and then flip it to on. I'm just thinking if there's any reason I would want to Zeus now and not wait for my opponent to do something first. Again, this is only once per turn. These are both active anyway. Does this have an effect when it like leaves the field or something? No. No, it doesn't. Okay, so yeah, let's just go ahead and pass and flip this to on. I guess the reason would be that maybe my opponent doesn't have a monster. Like that would be, but that's still just like guesswork at that point. I think it's better to wait until my opponent commits more resources and then try to Zeus them. And then yes, it's more likely that my Zeus gets negated, but I can still resolve it. And I can still get more negations here. Now, okay. I actually might... Depending on what they reveal here with Prosperity, I might Zeus in response to the activation. They sent 3? Oh no, we can just Ash it. Yeah, we'll just do that. We'll just Ash it. That's easy. Never mind. Called by... Okay, so now we actually do have to think about this again. Now that they've called by the Ash. The only problem... Okay, so here's the pros and cons of Zeusing right now, right? The pro is that if my opponent's last card in hand is not a monster, I get to wipe their board and keep my Zeus and have another wipe. The con is that if I do get negated, I'll have to use my Zeus, it'll get board wipes, and then my opponent gets an Excavate, and then they can look for something to specifically, like, because I have no board. It's like so 50-50, it could go either way. And it's funny, I'm not a risk taker, but I see chat encouraging me to take the risk. You know what? I'm gonna roll with it. This isn't a game we were supposed to win anyway. I think my opponent was supposed to bring DPE back, and then we're in a much worse position. I'm gonna go for it. I'm just gonna go for it here. It doesn't really matter what we send, I guess. They do have a monster. Okay, alright. What did they have, actually? I mean, we definitely Zeus here again. It was it was a Psy-Frame driver. Okay, so it was their last card was a dead card. So they are still peeling a card off the top of their deck. Oh no, they have a Schism too? That was their last card. Wait, that's fine though, right? Does that actually do anything here? So yeah, now here's the con I was talking about earlier. Like, both our opponent and I are in top deck mode, but they have a resolved Prosperity they get to do now instead. Or they get to do first. Oh, and they ripped an Alistair! That's so bad! Oh no! Yep, add Alistair. That's fine. That's fine. Now we just, yeah, it's like chat is saying, now we just have to top deck Fraktall. Easy. Oh no, oh no. Although, okay, how would this have played out if I had waited? Let me think about that. This is actually important to think about for future decisions. If I had waited, then my opponent probably still would have just grabbed Alistair, right? What did they reveal? And they had a Schism face down that didn't do anything. Thank you. Alright. Ecclesia Revolt. Okay, so they would have added Alistair. Alistair can normal, get the invocation. They basically just do this and this. I mean, it kind of would have been... Would it have been the same thing? No, I would have destroyed more of their board. That would have been yeah, so it still would have been better to wait in this specific scenario. Oh yeah, don't worry, this game's staying in. Chat's asking, like, chat's saying, like, definitely keep this in. Yeah, I will. This is a good back and forth. I like games like this. Well, we actually did top deck the Tri-Brigade monster, but it's not gonna be enough. We're just gonna have to set Nervall to not die here. And our searcher's gonna get negated, but again, we're just interested in not dying here. Top deck Lightning. Yeah, the problem is with top decking Lightning Storm, we didn't do it there. Like, we want to top deck Lightning Storm in a scenario like this as soon as possible, because the more turns our opponent takes, like, the worse our top deck Lightning Storm is gonna be, so... Oh, that's right, of course they wheeled the Alistair back, so I think even with set Nervall, this is probably still lethal? I guess we'll see. Ah, chat makes such a good point. I should just top deck Lightning Storm. Ugh, I wasn't thinking. It's just a skill issue, I guess, you know. What can you do? Oh yeah, I always forget about this thing. This invoked Agides? Who knows? And at this point, oh wow, they're actually they let the ad resolve. Thanks, opponent. I appreciate you. And yep, opponent's going to move to the battle. And lethal us, so GG opponent. Yeah, we'll go ahead and keep this game, you know? Like I always say, I like keeping losses as long as they're just interesting back and forth and not either me just opening terribly or just like playing terribly. So, alright, let's go ahead and move back to the deck for the outro here. Alright everyone, thank you so much for watching the profile as well as those games there. Like I said earlier, I just wanted to get in some live games for you guys because I didn't want it to be so much time with only me uploading replays. That's not going to be the last of it either. I'm definitely going to be uploading more deck profiles, and if possible, I'm definitely going to try to include live games with those as well. And then I want to get some live just Sword Soul games in, as well as more live Tri-Zoo games. Like, I definitely need to... It's funny, because going into making this profile, I was like so arrogant, and I really was. I was being arrogant. I was like, I'm the Tri-Zoo, the player on YouTube, you know, I'm the Tri-Zoo player on YouTube. I know this deck, I don't need to relearn anything, I just slot in DPE and we're good to go, right? Wrong. But it's nice to, like, you know, like, get checked like that, because it's a good reminder that this game is constantly evolving, and we need to be as well. We can't always be relying on our old information and our previous knowledge and assuming it's just going to carry us into a new meta. Like, of course not. It's something I should have realized sooner. So it's the thing I love about doing the channel and having chat with me here as well. Just being able to learn so much and constantly grow as a player. It's just so, like, I've said a million times before, like, you guys are the reason that I'm able to do as well as I am in this game. Like, I mean, I still think I could, you know, do well on the ranked ladder if I was just playing by myself and not recording, but, like, I learned so much from my chat and my comments. You are so good about offering, like, constructive criticism. I can literally never say it enough. You guys, like, how much you guys help and how much you guys mean to me. Hey, thank you, Mazubi? I'll just leave it there. I don't know how to pronounce the name, but thank you very much for the follow. I appreciate it. And I appreciate everybody on YouTube who is watching as well. If you'd like to join one of these Twitch streams, whether it's my regular weekly Friday night stream or one of these one-off streams here where I do some recording or else just some messing around on Master Duel, feel free to check out the description where, again, you're going to find links to both my Twitch and my Twitter, and give those a follow if you feel like it. But honestly, just the fact that you're watching is far more than enough for me. To have me leave satisfied. So without further ado, this is Xlex signing out, and I hope you guys have a fantastic day.